September 2022 marks the centenary of the international architectural competition to design the Auckland War Memorial Museum on Pukekohe on the Domain in Auckland. The museum holds an extensive archive of documents from the competition, together with the original plans from the winning competition entry, an album of contemporary press cuttings that document the high levels of public interest in the project from its genesis in the aftermath of the First World War to the dedication of the foundation stone in 1925. Following its foundation in 1852 in a local farmhouse and rapid development in purpose-built accommodation, and with multiple extensions from the 1870s, by the early 20th century it was apparent that the collections of the Auckland Museum had once again far outgrown the space available to them. Its first professional curator, Thomas Cheeseman, lobbied to construct a building for a museum that could take its place amongst the chief museums in Australasia. By 1920, it was resolved that the erection of a new combined museum and war memorial would be the most appropriate means of commemorating those who had given their lives in the Great War. Auckland City Council granted the site of Observatory Hill on the Auckland Domain as the site for the new museum. The Mayor of Auckland, J.H. Gunson, as President of the Auckland Institute and Museum, negotiated a £25,000 subsidy from the Prime Minister on the basis that the sum would be matched by public subscription. Public meetings of citizens were called throughout September and October 1920 to discuss the ways and means to raise the balance of funds required, resulting in the appointment on the 22nd of October 1920 of a Citizens Committee to promote and organise a public appeal. Given the scale and the importance of the project, Auckland citizens lobbied in the press for a public architectural competition. To loud applause at a public meeting on the 22nd of October 1920, the Mayor and the Chairman of the Citizens War Memorial Committee, Mr. J.H. Gunson, pledged that competitive designs would be called. The competition would be judged by a panel of 5 nominated by the New Zealand Institute of Architects and the Joint Committee of Council and Citizens. Some 400 editions of the Conditions for Competitive Designs were distributed around the British Empire. In addition to the need for displaying collections commemorating the Great War, Thomas Cheeseman confirmed the second purpose. Effected by a general museum, which the valuable treasures possessed by the present Auckland Museum will be more fully and adequately displayed and room provided for their proper expansion. In August 1922, the New Zealand Star confirmed that 74 competition designs for the Auckland War Memorial Museum would be considered by the jury appointed by the Joint Committee of Citizens and members of the Auckland Institute. 74 entries from around the world, including Great Britain, United States, Canada, Australia and India, were displayed anonymously in Harbour Board Shed number 16 in time for the jury to begin its work on the 11th of September 1922. After 9 arduous days of judging, on the 19th of September, the competition jury wrote to the Mayor of Auckland, Mr. J.H. Gunson, to confirm the results of its deliberations and the placing of the winning designs. The international competition for the design of the proposed War Memorial Museum was won by the local architectural practice of Grierson, Amer and Draffin. Newspapers celebrated the fact that the architects had all served in the Great War, seeing action either at Gallipoli or on the Western Front. Their new Temple of the Muses was designed in homage to the vision forged through the experiences of New Zealand servicemen who'd first seen this Aegean architecture on the decks of warships and who had served at Gallipoli, their very own Trojan War. The winning colonnaded Doric architecture of 3 stories, while meeting the demands of the commanding site on the Domain, offered the best solution to the requirement of quiet refinement essential for memorial purposes. In addition to the Periclean panel above, large funerary vases, together with Roman fasciae and oak and laurel wreaths, were carved into the stone, reinforcing the memorial and imperial characters of the architecture. A court of honour with a cenotaph at its centre would provide added dignity to the building entry. Progressing through a soaring peristyle entry hall, combining carved classical and Maori Pacific ornament, the visitor would arrive at the museum centrepiece, the Māori Court. Above, across the axis of the building, a memorial hall would be clad in marble with the inscription of Auckland's Roll of Honour. Provision was made for the possible future extension of the building towards the south of the site. Due to public demand, the exhibition of the competition entries continued on Queen's Wharf until the end of September. The Herald reported that large crowds visited the exhibition throughout the day and the evening, and it was noted that the general opinion seemed to be that the winning design was unquestioningly the most attractive and most suitable of those shown. By January 1923, the public appeal for the building of Auckland War Memorial Museum had raised £140,000. Fundraising intensified, and in July 1924, tenders for construction were released in line with the architect's estimate of £190,000. Witnessed by a large gathering of citizens, the foundation stone of Auckland War Memorial Museum was laid by the Prime Minister, the Honourable J. Gordon Coates, on the 1st of August 1925. The building would be completed and opened in 1929. Sadly, Thomas Cheeseman, the originator of the War Memorial Museum project, was not present. He had died in 1923 after over 50 years' service as the museum's curator.